Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Here's all my contacts. Today we are making this half door Easter card. I've seen a couple people do half door, and I can't remember who did it, but mine's a little different, so it's okay. You open it like this, and it is using the Easter basket bundle. I will also have the Faith collection if somebody wants to put inside He Is Risen or whatever. And there's also Hello Spring. You get to put whatever it is you think you want to put on the inside. So let me show you how we're going to make this card. I'm going to start with all the supplies. I'll show you. I die cut 3 different colors for the strips for the basket. And the basket is much easier than you think. I see I got a little glue there. Much easier than you think it might be. I'll show you how to thread that like nobody's business. So I have a balmy blue, shy shamrock, and a pretty in pink. I'm using some of the Easter Joy paper. You could use either side if you chose to use the green side. This is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm using the arched Wishes dies, and these are the yellow one is the 3rd one in, and this one's the 4th one in, top to bottom. So you need 1 yellow and 2 white. This goes here on the half door. That is 2.5 by 4. You need, I cut out a basket and a bow. And then you need a piece, which if you come to my class will be cut out for you, a piece of 5.5 by 8.5. Let me show you, I'm going to move this off, how to cut this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to move this over, is I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Then I'm going to move it here to 2 3/4. And I'm going to use the cutting blade, and I'm going to cut all the way right there. Now, I have 2 options. I can put it right in here and start there and go up. I tend to like to just cut it with my scissors because sometimes I go up too far and I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to cut it with my scissors. Like I say, if you come to my class, it'll all be cut for you. I see I bent my cardstock a little. And all I'm doing is coming right on that score line. And cut. And if I need to, sometimes I need to cut just a little bit more, but that might be ready to come off. It is. If there's a little edge, you can come in and cut that off. Save that. You might need to use it for something else. And you have your half door card. Very fun, easy. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my outside. Once again, it's double-sided, so if you wanted to use the other. This is the 2 3/4, 2.5 by 4. And I'm going to just line it up there. On the back part, I'm going to go ahead and put this. That is the easy. These are the easy parts. Like I say, when you come to my class, I'll have these all cut. So all you'll have to do is really put it together, which is good for you. All right, let me get that a little bit off. This is a shiny paper, so it looks really Eastery. Now, let's start with the basket next. But before I actually do that, I'm going to put this kind of where I think I want it to be. And I'm going to take a light pencil. Oops, don't write on your basket like I just did. If you do, it erases. And see that light line I made on there? It shows me how to stamp my flowers. So what I'm going to do, these flowers are from that cute little stamp set, Easter basket. And I'm really making sure they're lined up. And once again, I kind of get a sense where this is. And I'm going to, if it goes a little bit outside, totally okay. Then we'll erase the line. And you can even make this one go up farther, however you want it to be. There is no right or wrong. This one could be smaller. That part will be covered up, so it's really okay. So you notice every time I do it a little bit different. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to erase that mark. So now when I put my basket on there, and let me see, I think that's where I like it. It looks really cute. You got flowers in your basket. I'm going to come in very quickly. I have Summer Splash. The reason I'm not using the Shamrock is I'm using it on another card at the same class. So I find that this dark Shy Shamrock is a dark color and it really blends beautifully with the Shamrock. They were both introduced the same year. These probably down here will be covered up, but I'm still giving them a little color just in case. Then I'm going to come through with the dark Lemon Lolly. And I'm going to add a little center to all of my flowers. Now, do you have to color them all the same? Absolutely not. You can color them. I'll have a purple. I'll have a couple of different colors out. Probably a Calypso Coral out. In fact, let me try Calypso Coral. Let me try Highland Heather. Let me grab a couple. And I'm going to start with the Calypso Coral and see if I like that. I'm using the light because the dark is pretty dark. So I might make some of my flowers different colors. You see, I'm just doing it very lightly. I'm going to use the light Highland Heather. I'm using the bigger end, but you can use the smaller end if you really like to be exact. You notice these flowers kind of went in on each other, which I'm okay with. And then I'm going to end the last one with my light flirty flamingo. So my flowers are a little different. They're not all the same color. And that's kind of fun too. We'll see if we like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the large yellow Lemon Lolly. That is such an Easter color, isn't it? And I'm going to go ahead. I can use the big if I want, but around the rim, I am going to use just little bits. Not a lot. You don't want a ton of glue on here. Got to get a little glue out. Come on, glue. There we go. You don't want too much because then it'll be too much glue on your handle and it'll kind of come around all over the place. But you do want it enough so it'll stick down. Okay. And you're going to glue your basket down. See, I got a little extra glue there. If that happens, you can just get rid of it with a little bit of a, this little tool does not be stored. It's a gum eraser. It's not sold by Stampin' Up, but you can pick it up at many different stores. I did something wrong. Oops, as I dropped something. I did something wrong. So I'm going to tell you, don't put it down first because you got to thread it. So what I'm going to do, you're going to laugh. I have an extra one cut, so I'm going to pick this perfectly glued down piece. Well, let's see. Can Nancy do it? Let's see. I'm going to show you how to thread this. Let's see if I can thread it with glue on the back. You just never know. This I learned from Brenda Quintana, and it is total brilliance because I've tried to do this and it is a mess. If you try to just thread it regularly, it's not easy. But if you go ahead and put this through, look how easy that is to thread. And then I'm going to come through and do the bottom part. Like, is that easy peasy or what? I just made my whole life much more difficult doing it this way. So hopefully you will not follow suit and do this. Remember, thread it before you glue it on. But if not, look at, I just proved we know how to mess. If we mess it up, we know how to fix it. Now I'm going the opposite. Did you see how I came up? And I'm moving it down a little bit so I have room for my blue to go. The blue is the hardest one, and it's harder because I, of course, have glued it on the card. All right, I'm going to get that down a little bit. It's much easier when you haven't glued it on the card. Don't you love when I do stuff like that? I do. But the handle is glued so greatly on there, I really hate taking it off. So I'm just making it work. Have you ever done things like this? I bet you have. And then if I can get it to go under there. Perfect. Now I can take this out. Is that not brilliant? Brenda Quintana came up with that. I thought that was super brilliant. And of course, it would be easier if you hadn't glued it down to cut these little ends off. But since, of course, I did it the wrong way, I try to make the mistakes so you don't have to. So remember, do the basket weaving and then glue it on. The people at my classes, I'm sure, are laughing right now like it's a total Nancy. But you know what? I think we all make mistakes. So it's good to know what to do if you do. And I always have, I always make a couple of extra kits just in case there's a boo-boo that we really can't fix. Okay. Is that not cute, though? It's so cute when you have it basket weaved. And look how easy that basket weaving is when you just, this is a skewer, and it's got glue on it now. It's a skewer for like kebabs. So it's so easy. Now I'm going to get a sense where I want this. And I'm going to kind of put my finger here because I want the glue not to go past my finger. Now I'm going to stamp with Shy Shamrock. I'm going to stamp Happy Easter. You can't do it right at the top. Well, oh, look, I got something right on my thing. Well, let me get another one. I have an extra. Before you stamp, it's always helpful to make sure that your stamp is clean, and mine is not. Boy, I'm showing you all sorts of mistakes to fix. And here we go. It's still got something on there. All right, I got it off. That looks good. Much better. Move that out of this way. And I'm going to line that up just before I glue it on. I'm going to kind of make sure, yep, it's going to be covered up. That's why I used the white a little bit smaller than the yellow, so that you knew it would be covered up. Once again, before I actually push it down, yep. And there's a couple more things to do. We are going to pop up our bow on our basket. It's cute as it is. You don't need a bow. I'm using the mini dimensionals because they're just easier. You don't have to have a bow, but the bow just kind of sets it off. Here's the bow. And I kind of let the bottom flop a little bit, like a real bow. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to get some of these rainbow adhesive dots. And we're going to, could you put a different color? Let's say you wanted a different color. What about, I don't like the blue. That's the only one I think really doesn't go. Maybe I'll try an orange dot. Last time I did a yellow dot. I kind of like that peachy pie color. Is that not the cutest card? You know, yes, you do have to do a little bit with the basket, but it's not hard. And it's a lot of fun, and it's a fun fold. So I hope you enjoy this card and try it out. Have a great day.